Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Mike Catalana, back with you in the big news today. We've been waiting to hear it, is that the Bills deal with New York State, Erie County, and the NFL is a done deal. At least the agreement is done. The new stadium is going to be built. There's a lot of details to work out in terms of the leases and all, but the agreement to get the money to get the stadium built is complete. Now, they've mapped it out. It's $850 million in taxpayer money. It's set $600 million from the state, $250 million from Erie County. You know the politicians, they'll make that work to move the numbers around. The revenue generated by the team through those entities will be what pays for that $850 million. The Pagulas and the NFL putting in the rest to get it to the $1.4+ billion. Now, look, we're going to take a bit of a bow here because we reported it months ago that this was what was going to happen. The deal was going to be for $1.4 billion. It was going to be an outdoor stadium. It was going to be built in Orchard Park across the street from the current Highmark Stadium. And that's exactly how this has played out. Now, right now, the debate still with some people is going to be, should have built a dome, should have built in the city. There are arguments to be made for both of those things. That wasn't going to happen. We told you that in the beginning, that this was the way this was going to play out. This is what the Bills were going to do. They didn't want to contribute more towards this project than they are. That's life with the NFL. They have the leverage, and the county and the state were only going to come up with so much. The cost would have been higher. They did not want to go in downtown Buffalo. I see advantages there, no doubt about it. Team didn't want to do it. Erie County and the state deferred to the Bills on their preference. This is where we are. And as far as the dome is concerned, I'd love it. I'd love to see a dome, but I've known from the beginning, and it's what we reported before anybody at the beginning, that it was going to be an outdoor stadium. The other part, PSLs, personal seat licenses. Now, they didn't give all the details on that other than Ron Rakuya, who is the executive vice president of Pagula Sports and Entertainment, saying today from the NFL's owners meetings that every season ticket will have one. Now, we've heard some speculation that the least expensive of those would be $1,000. Basically, look, this is what the NFL does. It's you paying for the right to pay for tickets. Yep, that's how they raise more money. That's the NFL. We keep stressing this. It's the NFL. They have the golden ticket. The Pagulas do. The league does. There's only 32 of these. And come on, you're a Bills fan. You know the truth. If the Bills were to ever have left, they're not getting another team back in Buffalo. That's the reality of where we are in Western New York. But the Bills are here, and it's going to be a new lease. Now, I say that. They're still going to be playing in Orchard Park. That deal is going to go until this new stadium is ready. So they're going to need a new lease. The Bills will work that out. They aren't setting this whole thing up without at least guidelines in place for how that lease is going to go. And then the new lease, 30 years, will take place with the new stadium. Again, could be across the street from Highmark. A lot of questions to be answered. What are they going to do with the old stadium at that point? Probably 2026. How are the Bills going to operate? Tailgating will still be going on because it's going to be in the same place. I think it's going to be a much better fan experience because while we all love the Ralph, it isn't the greatest fan experience in terms of dealing with the weather. It's not a dome, but this new stadium will be better. Still plenty more to talk about this, but the big news for Bills fans is this team isn't going anywhere. They basically are going to have a prenup with the team. Like all the things in place that if the Bills ever decided that they wanted to move, it would be extremely costly in terms of paying back the state and the county and then doing something with the stadium. We don't really want to be talking about what would happen if they left when they're agreeing to a 30-year provisions of a lease. But that's where we are. The Bills aren't going anywhere. We told you that before. We had the numbers. We had where it was going to be. We had the type of stadium that it was going to be. And it all is going to go that way. So plenty more here on the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Dan and Jenna are going to join me. We'll be putting together our podcast to talk about all of what this means, where the Bills are now and how that's impacted the way these talks have gone and what happens in the next steps before we get to the shovels going in the ground and that new stadium going to be built. So plenty more on the stadium coming up. But for now, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you the next time on the Buffalo Plus channel on YouTube.